Hello there, my beautiful Aquarius signs. It's Rachel with Dark Knight Coaching. Today's video is supposed to be about love, but when I meditated on your cards and I did your reading, for a lot of you, this is about breakups, heartbreaks, that sort of thing. So if that's not resonating for you, it's probably not your message. I don't really see like any incoming love. I do feel like at this time, Spirit is asking you to release a person, maybe multiple people actually, and do some internal healing and introspection, because there's a lot happening at this time for you, Aquarius, and there's a lot of shifting. Now, you are an Aquarius sign. Typically, from my lifetime of research and dealing with Aquarius people, they're very shifty, very flighty, not really usually one to settle down, and I feel like you might have possibly stepped on your own foot in a way, because I do feel like there's a lot of betrayal or deceit happening. And when, somebody cheats on someone or is unfaithful or something along those lines, the only person they're really hurting at the end of the day is themselves. So if you've been going through a heartbreak, or, maybe you're a cross watcher and you're dealing with an Aquarius, or maybe it's the opposing energy that's in your field at this time, just remember that authenticity and truth is the highest form of energy. It's the highest frequency. It resonates the loudest, even louder than love. So I think Spirit really wants you to tap into your authentic self and speak your truth at this time, because the very first card I have for you is the expression card. It says you are ready to manifest your thoughts and transform them into acts of love. Now, I do think this is tied to your self-expression as well, because you have the workaholic card. So this is like pouring yourself into creative things, co-creating with the universe, and trying to transmute the pain from the past into something beautiful. This is alchemy, essentially. And throwing yourself into your work is going to kind of be the saving grace for you at this time, Aquarius, because this card on the outside is symbolized by the blue color, and that's your throat chakra. So your throat chakra is tied to purity, it's tied to truth, it's tied to communicating clearly, and also expression, which is, the expression card. So you have a lot of cohesiveness here, a lot of synchronicities. There's just a lot of struggles that you're facing internally and emotionally at this time, and Spirit really wants you to hold your vision, because there is going to be rewards for you. It doesn't necessarily mean it's monetary rewards like anytime soon, but this is like inner reward, because you're going to understand true love, self-love, and true love only comes when you've healed yourself and healed your wounds and gone into the shadow. So Spirit is asking you to hold your vision when it comes to love, and I do see there is a lot of love on your mind at this time, because I got a lot of tarot cards that are very much so aligned with love and heartbreak. Now, the next card I have, let's do these. I have two cards that are very closely related here. So you have a higher power, which is divine connection. Basically, we are all connected to source or oneness through quantum physics, through the ether, and you have universe. So always be in harmony with the universe. And again, I feel like this is tied to like co-creation and throwing yourself into your creative venture. So if you've been having a heartbreak or a heartbreaking experience, maybe you're writing a poem about it, maybe you're writing a song about it, maybe you're transmuting that pain and writing a book about your life or something along those lines, or you're channeling that energy into some art form, because there's paintings in this one. So maybe you're creating with all of the fuel that you have from your experiences. And then the next card I have for you is the underworld. The underworld is the shadow aspects of ourselves. It's our subconscious energy. It's like what makes us tick? Why do we do these certain things? And this is healing those trauma bonds, the codependency, your attachment styles, whether that's anxious or avoidant or whatever it is. Typically, we all have some sort of mother wound or father wound, and that's how we are attracted to certain people in relationships, because they remind us of home. They feel very, very comfortable. It feels familiar, because it is a refraction of our upbringing. So keep that in mind as you're doing this shadow work, because I do feel there's a lot of this underworld subconscious energy that has been guiding you, but it's now that you're growing and learning and going through this heartbreak, you're becoming more self-aware of how did you get here and what can you do to shift out of the old patterns? Because the next card I have is, I have the power to change my destiny. So you do have free will. We all have free will. Whether you choose to repeat patterns or cycles, it's totally up to you. Now, once the rose-colored glasses of love are ripped off or slapped off our faces sometimes, we do have enlightenment periods where we are like, oh, that's why I did it, and then at that point when you realize why you're doing shadow work and why you're going through something, it's like you have this aha epiphany moment where you're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I stayed in that relationship for so long. I can't believe I let somebody treat me that way. I didn't see my self-worth. I didn't see my value, or I can't believe I treated someone that way because it was my own sabotage instincts where I thought this was too good to be true. This person couldn't possibly love me. And that's just a self-worth thing. So make sure you're just being aware of your past loves and the role that they play for you. Now, the 3 love cards that I pulled for you, Aquarius, are very unique. Now, this could be your energy or somebody's in your field's energy, probably this past person. The first one says, no one compares. No matter how many people I've met and experiences I have, there's no one that compares to you. That reminds me of that Sinead O'Connor song. It's a very popular song. I was also listening to a song called I Hate Myself by Sasha Alex Sloan. So make sure you look her up because I love her songs. She has some very nice messages. And then the next card is gaslighting you. I have been lying to you and gaslighting you. You weren't crazy. You were right. I just wasn't strong enough to admit it. Now, again, Aquarius, that could be your energy or that person's energy. And then the next one says, will you listen? There are so many things I want to say to you, but will you hear me all the way out and will you believe me? Now, again, I think that's where this truth and purity come into play. If you are being true and authentic to yourself, you don't have anything to worry about because you are living in this higher elevated state where it's pure intentions and pure heartedness and that's good karma essentially. But if someone else has been, lying to you and gaslighting you, that is negative karma and manipulation on their part. It's no good, bad juju. So keep that in mind. And then when it comes to the tarot, you have the 5 of Cups in your past energy, Aquarius. This is crying over spilt milk, essentially. It's like, why did this have to end? I don't understand. This is regret. This is remorse. This is the past, and you can't look away. You don't understand why the 3 cups spilled out, but you are also failing to see there's two more full cups behind you, Aquarius. So that can be a tough pill to swallow. But it's all hope is not lost. It's about your perception of things and shifting your mindset by doing this internal work, this shadow healing and understanding yourself. Because through understanding, you find forgiveness for staying in situations or staying with people where you chose to see the best in them instead of seeing them for what they were truly, which sometimes, people, when they are not pure-hearted or kind or able to have empathy, that's coming from a place of trauma. They have had some sort of wound that they've never healed or never wanted to acknowledge, and they play the victim, but they also perpetuate pain in doing so. And that is very impactful to everyone around them. And it's doing themselves a disservice because their lack of the ability to reflect or be self-aware sends out waves, and it causes a lot of storms in other people's lives. And that's why it's very important to make sure you have the best intentions and that make sure you are trying to practice self-awareness and doing that healing and expressing yourself too, which is why you had that expression card. Now, the next card I have for you, Aquarius, is the Queen of Wands. If you're not a woman watching this, that's fine. It doesn't matter because energy is fluid. So we all have feminine energy. We all have masculine energy inside of us. It's the yin and the yang. It's the duality of this world. And the Queen of Wands is very independent, fiery, determined energy. This is you're going to do stuff on your own. You're going to alchemize things. My favorite part of this card is the sunflower, and I love this card generally. It's probably one of my most favorite cards in the tarot deck because sunflowers are all about alchemy. They can absorb cytotoxic materials and turn them into something beautiful. And that's what you're doing right now, Aquarius. You're like really alchemizing your pain and your heartbreak in the past, and you're really trying hard to turn it into something great and into something that's going to bring beauty into your life. And throwing yourself into your passion project, or whatever your co-creation is with the universe, is going to raise your energy and going to help with the collective, and it's going to contribute to a better life, not only for you but for others. And that's how you really shift out of being a victim and moving forward and choosing to grow, instead of staying in this like woe is me phase. And you're really stepping up here, and it's very, very hard work, and it's very important that what you're doing. Now, there's also a cat in this picture, so if you've been seeing a cat, that might be synchronistic for you, or if you have a cat, that's just a confirmation like you're in the right place watching this video. Excuse me. If what I've said so far resonates or has helped you, please make sure you hit the like button and subscribe. It helps my channel grow, and I greatly appreciate it. If you are interested in a coaching session, feel free to reach out to me, or if you want a tarot reading, I could do that too. Now, the future card I have for you is the Three of Swords. This is the heartbreak card. This is, lies, deceits, betrayals. I'm thinking of that like Taylor Swift song where she talks about like the braids of lies. A lot of the times when we end relationships, the truth comes to light, or it unfolds at some point in time, and it might be way later when you have these like epiphanies and these aha moments of like, oh, that's what that person meant when we were seeing each other, or that's what the gaslighting was and I didn't even see it. And you might have this like point where you feel a little bit hard on yourself, Aquarius, because you're like, how was I so blind? But it's naivete in a good way, even though it wasn't very good. It was like you were learning a lesson that not everyone is like you, because when we find ourselves looking for the silver lining in people, it's a refraction or a mirror of ourselves that we're imprinting onto them. And that can be also bittersweet, because we saw what we would do in their shoes, not what they were actually choosing to do. And that can be heartbreaking, because you can create illusions or perceptions of people that aren't exactly true. Now, the next couple cards I have for you were very interesting as well. So this is your subconscious energy, which I was like, ooh, how's that work? So I pulled a couple clarifiers. You have the Lovers in your subconscious energy. That could just be like you're practicing self-love at this time. It doesn't have to be like, you're getting with anyone new, but I do feel like you have love on the brain. And I feel like it's because of all of this hardships that you're going through. Now, I pulled two clarifying cards for that Lover subconscious energy card. I have the Judgment card and I have the Four of Swords card. So this Judgment card is tied to like divine coordination, divine timing. So somebody that you were with was probably a karmic connection and a soulmate. And if your heart is lighter than a feather, you're good. So don't worry about karma or anything like that, because the other people whoever's involved, they will get, they will have their judgment day. And chances are it's probably going to be happening over the course of the next couple months, because we're in Saturn retrograde and karma is being delivered. So make sure you're aware of that, because you're probably going to get to watch a lot of that play out. So get your popcorn ready. And then the next card I have for you is the Four of Swords. This is about resting, recuperation, healing, meditation, contemplation. Again, this is the self-reflecting and awareness card from doing this like underworld work, the shadow work, and being in that subconscious space. And I just feel like you're doing a great job, Aquarius. This is a monumental shift. This is a monumental step in your life. This is, divinely guided and fated for you to be here. But just remember, you do hold the power and you can make the changes that you want to see. And there's just a lot of positivity that's coming your way after you get over these little bit of like this hump period. And it's just overall a great energy. Just don't forget to be true to yourself and express your needs, express your wants, express your desires. It's just very vital that you speak up and say something. So That's what I have for you, Aquarius. Again, I hope this helped. If it did, please hit the like button and subscribe. It helps my channel to grow, and I greatly appreciate you. And I will see you next time.